authors required to purchase a certain number of copies of their book from their publisher? This is a question that comes up a lot, and you need to know that no, you are not required to purchase any copies of your book from your publisher, period. And if that's in a book contract, you've signed with a vanity press. And that is predatory, and you need to get out immediately. Get a lawyer, get away from them. Vanity presses are presses or publishing houses that require the author to pay to be published, pay to have their books on the shelf, pay to have an editor, pay to do things. And this is not actual publishing. This is, again, predatory. All vanity presses are predatory. You will hear them on social media saying, no, we're not all like that. Yes, they are. We are all telling you here, you do not ever pay as the author to publish your book if you have a traditional contract. The only time you're paying anything out of pocket for your book to be published is if you are self-publishing and you hire the different entities that you want to work with. It is not within a house. A vanity press is not anything like traditional publishing, and it is not anything like independent publishing. And we have lots and lots of videos explaining this, breaking this down, and answering your questions here on the channel. But a lot of vanity presses who take advantage of authors because the author is where they're making the money, not the book. They're making the money from the authors paying them to publish the books, not from selling the books. These vanity presses will require authors to pay money for copies of their book. You have to purchase so many copies, and then you're responsible for selling those. And it's usually a fairly high number. So if you get into a situation where you're looking at a contract or you're looking at a publishing house and it specifically says you have to purchase 10 copies, 500 copies, 5,000 copies, it's a vanity press run. Run as fast and as far as you can because they are a very, very dangerous place for you to be. And it's not professional at all. So if you've got questions on vanity presses, by all means, drop those down below. And if you have questions about a specific place, please email me. Email me their links. I am 100% happy to sit there and look through it and give you the information to make the best decision for you. I will tell you if they're a vanity press and if they're predatory, and then you can make your decision from there. I will always, always, always be here to help protect you from vanity presses and people trying to take advantage of you in this industry. Never hesitate to reach out to me with questions on this because I want you safe and protected. When you're safe and protected, so am I, and so are all the rest of us. We work together here to make sure that you are safe and protected in this industry. So, do you pay for copies of your book? No, not if it's required. However, you do need to be aware that if you are signed with a traditional publisher, these publishers will then allow you to purchase your author copies through them. You cannot go directly to the printer, and you aren't going to go to like Amazon and Barnes & Noble and buy your own book. You will buy them through your publisher. So that's a little bit different. You are buying author copies. These are like a wholesale value, so they're not going to be making a ton of money off of you when you're buying those copies. It's just what the printer is going to charge. And these copies, these author copies that you are able to purchase through them, is at a lower cost, and they are made available to you for book signings, for different events, if you were going to be giving things away for contests. If you need copies of your book, you buy it through your through your publisher because your publisher has access to the person printing those books. You can't go directly to them. So they act like the middleman and get you those copies. So you will be buying them through your publisher. You're just not required to buy anything. So if I signed with a publisher today and I needed some copies for a book signing, I would go and get it through them. They would have to place that order and ship it to me, and then I would just give them money and they would cover that cost for the printing and the shipping to me. If I went and signed with a publisher and they said, okay, because you're signing with us, now you have to have 200 copies, that's the vanity press. So there's a difference. You have to go through them to get your author copies, but you're not going to be upcharged and you're not going to be required to buy a certain number of copies with a true traditional publisher. Vanity presses will do that because they're predatory, but traditional publishers allow you to buy those author copies so that you can have access to them, because you do not have access to them outside of that unless you just go and buy it for the retail value, which is silly. We don't do that. So you have a cheaper version because it's the wholesale version that you're getting through the printer by way of your publisher. Questions on any of this, go ahead and drop it down below and follow along as I continue to help you navigate the world of publishing, from your writing to your publishing to your marketing, to make this your most profitable year ever with the least amount of stress and overwhelm and time commitment on your content creation so that you can make this the best author life possible and avoid things like dangerous, predatory vanity presses and other things that are not so great inside of this industry. We'll see in the upcoming episodes.